Welcome to DFW Airport's 2023 Earth Day celebration. I'm Merritt Kendall.
And I am Madison Peppers. We are both environmental project managers at DFW Airport.
Today, we are going to explore DFW Airport's sustainability focus area on climate action with STEAM activity about climate change and the urban heat island effect.
At DFW, we are passionate about reducing our environmental impacts today to ensure our future generations can enjoy all the world has to offer. Join us as we take you on this journey as we take you to
sustainability and beyond. Climate change is a long-term shift in temperatures and weather patterns. While some shifts may be naturally occurring, human activities have been the main driver of climate change since the 1800s.
That's right. So human activities that primarily contribute to climate change, including burning fossil fuels, which causes greenhouse gas emissions. Greenhouse gases are a collective term for a group of different chemical compounds such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and water vapor.
All right, so let's get into our first investigation. This investigation is broken into two parts. This first part, we're going to focus on surface temperatures. For this portion of our investigation, we will be utilizing an infrared thermometer. Please note that the infrared thermometer does have a laser on it, so we want to be very careful not to shine this in any people's eyes or any animals' eyes. It can cause damage. Teachers, please make sure that you monitor your students while they're using the device so that everybody can be safe. So
let's get into the procedure. Today, like Merritt mentioned, we'll be using the infrared thermometer to observe how temperatures on exterior surfaces differ on a warm day. So how we're going to start the experiment first is we're going to divide the students into teams, and then we're going to provide the students with the lab report, which Merritt is showing here, to do the experiment. This will also be attached in the lab that the students receive. So in this report, the students will be introduced to several new concepts, including a hypothesis, independent and dependent variables. So just to touch on what those concepts mean, is a hypothesis is an educated guess that explains how variables impact each other. An independent variable is a variable that is changed, with the dependent variable being the variable that is impacted by the change in the independent variable. So for this particular experiment, the independent variable will be the ambient temperature, which can be obtained through temperature apps or online, and the dependent variable will be the surface temperatures taken by the infrared thermometer.
your climate action lab kit will come with a lesson plan, resources, and supplies to complete the investigations. Once we've gone through all these sections, take a moment to review these sections as a class, and then we're going to identify the surface temperatures that we plan to measure. We will identify the procedure that we'll also be using, and this will be recorded on our lab worksheet. So let's go outside, we'll take our temperature gun, and let's measure some surfaces. Kind of find an area that's open to the sky, and we're going to go ahead and shoot it and try to get a temperature measurement. And anytime we do kind of field investigations, we always want to try to take 3 samples and try to be representative of the area. So one of the things we'll try to do is move over to a partially shaded area like under this tree, and we'll take a shot here. So we'll take these measurements, and what are we going to do with them, Madison?
We are going to log them in our worksheet to compare the differences between under the tree and in full sun.
Okay, and then we need to get another shot that's like in complete shade. So maybe the eave of this building here.
All right, so let's shoot this rock wall that's in the shade over here and see the temperature of this. It's pretty cool over here in the shade versus the sun.
There's one sunny spot right over there.
Yeah, let's go check that out.
So once we get 3 temperatures at each one of our surface types, what we'll do is we'll take an average of those, and that way we can get an average of the representative sample.
Yeah.
Some other things we want to look at, like concrete. So this being under this eave, we can take a shot of that, and that'll give us one of our readings for concrete. And if we take one here, of this one out in the sunlight, we can get another reading. And we'll take 3 samples of those as well.
This looks like a good sunny spot right here.
All right, got our 3rd shot. All right, now that we're back in the lab, let's look at Investigation 1, Part 2, the real world connection. So, first thing we want to do as a class is discuss the surface temperature investigation that we just completed.
So first, as part 2, we're going to watch the video for the urban heat island effect. So after you watch that video, we're going to complete a worksheet, which Merritt's going to discuss.
Right. So, as a class, we want to discuss the questions about the urban heat island effect. We want to complete the heat island graph analysis worksheet that you got with your lab kit. If your class is more academically achieved and you need more of a challenge, we also have an article to read about the urban heat island effect, and we also have this claim, evidence, and reasoning worksheet that you and your students can go through.
Yeah, so after you finish all of the worksheets and gone through investigation 1, one of the main key takeaways that we would like the class to get is, as vegetation is replaced by man-made structures that are necessary to accommodate growing populations, heat islands form.
Surfaces such as asphalt and concrete absorb rather than reflect the sun's heat, causing surface temperatures and overall ambient temperatures to rise. Displacing trees and vegetation minimizes the natural cooling effects of shading and evaporation from water, from the soil and leaves. Waste heat from vehicles, factories, and air conditioners may also add warmth to their surroundings and further increase the heat island effect. So we're going to look at investigation number 2, climate change and the city. For this lab, we'll have some materials that came with your kit that we're going to go through. Some of those things are plastic shoebox, tin foil, glue stick, paint. We have paint brushes that we've supplied, foam board. We've also provided some artificial moss. And then, of course, we have a small digital thermometer. Please note on the back of this, there is a little red button so you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Okay, so first what we're going to do is review the findings from our prior exercises. So for those exercises, we want to focus on what causes the urban heat island effect, why it is important to people, and what are some potential solutions. So to start this experiment, you will form 5 teams. So each team will be tasked to design and build a roof with the objective to lessen the urban heat island effect.
Right. So one of the things that we provided to the students is you should use the planning sheet called Reducing the Urban Heat Island Effect to help them in their roof design. Teachers, you will need to discuss any kind of constraints that you're going to place upon them. These constraints could be things such as a limited amount of time they have to make their designs, certain limitations, do they have to use what came into the kit, or can they use materials that they bring from their homes, things of that nature, any kind of modifications. Students will then construct their roofs. I think we have some examples that we can show.
Yeah, let's pull those out.
The roofs can be very simple. Here we have a black painted roof on foam board. They can be a little bit more elaborate. You can try to replicate like a green roof. Other roofs that we have can be reflective that we've used. And again, these are all examples. They can be as simple or as complex as this roof with multiple components, kind of showing all 3.
Yeah, so once the roof designs are completed, place the shoeboxes outside in a sunny area for 30 to 45 minutes and record the results that you receive at the end of the time.
Right, let's go out into the field and let's actually take a look to see how these things do. Man, I'm kind of excited to see how our roofs did.
Yeah.
What'd you get on the black one?
Let's see. It is 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Under the reflective foil. I got a 87.
Awesome. Let's see what the moss looks like. This one is 89.5.
And for the fancy one, we got a 88.
Awesome.
So, wow.
Yeah, it looks like the...
Different roof materials do make a difference.
Yeah, it does. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate Earth Day 2023. If you would like to learn more about DFW's work in climate action and the urban heat island effect, check out the videos posted on our website. There's a QR code on your screen now.
There, you can also upload pictures of your scientific discoveries with our Earth Learning in Action tab, or send us your questions with the Ask a Scientist feature. We would love to hear from you.
Happy Earth Day.